We are covering process number 3 of 10, which will be the accounts payable processes. We have covered job startups, and we've covered POs and work orders. So now we're jumping into accounts payable and invoices. So same format, going through the questions that we're asking, something for you to think about and document and see if there should be any changes within your organization when talking about these specific processes. So, number 1, how are the invoices received? Are they through mail, email? Are they coming on the job site specifically? If they are mail, who is opening the mail? And then what does that process look like? Are they stamped with the date that they're coming in? Then are they sorted? Who are they given to? Most of the time now anymore, a lot of invoices are going to be coming through an email. So we recommend setting up an AP email address for your company that someone could manage and sort from there. And then number 2, are the invoices being matched with POs and receiving tickets? And how are those getting back to you? So if there are items that are getting shipped to the job site, is someone bringing those back in? Are they taking pictures of them? Are they looking over the packing slips, receiving tickets? How is that process looking as well? And how are they getting back to the office? And how often are they getting back to the office? Number 3, who enters the invoices into the system? Do you have multiple people entering invoices into the system? And what does that process look like? Number 4, how are invoices submitted for approval? So who approves the invoices? It could be somebody different is approving overhead invoices versus job costed invoices. Could be different PMs per jobs and things like that. So what does that approval process look like? And how long does the approval process take? We love systems that are digital and automated that can go straight from accounting to the PMs or to management for approvals within the system. That is the best way to do it. If you can scan a copy of your invoice in, see it right there on the screen, the PM can approve it, that's a good way to go. It also cuts down on the time that it takes or the chances of items getting lost if everything can be scanned into a system electronically and approved electronically. Number 5, are invoices ever held? And if they are, what's the reasoning? And the reason we ask this is because what we see sometimes are invoices are held, so project managers say, no, don't pay that, or owners, management says, no, don't pay that, and they get lost, or they may be held for months, and then they're never closing out the period, and so they're having to go and backdate and enter all these transactions when they're ready to be paid, and it's skewing up the financial reports. So there's a bunch of things we look at in there on how invoices are being held, why they're being held, how do we track that invoice when it is being held. Again, another great situation that you can have there is entering the invoice in the system. It's being held in the system, not necessarily not being entered. It's just being held, do not pay, but it's still in the system as a held invoice. Number 6, how often are check runs? So are you performing check runs and paying things with a check weekly? Is it bi-weekly? Is it just whenever someone needs to get paid? Is it monthly? What is that process for cutting those checks? And are you preparing a cash requirement listing? So figuring out your cash flow per week, if your check runs are weekly, do you understand that, like, how your money is coming in and how your money is going out? and understanding if you can actually afford to cut those checks or not, if they will all clear your bank. Do you have any type of projection on those check runs, especially for the overhead costs that are coming out? Those should be pretty known and pretty regular. Number 7, how are payments being made? Are they from check, or do you have any ACH payments? Are you making any wires? And then there's a lot of things that come in with that on those processes as well. We might be getting into some more of those questions in a little bit, so I'll wait to touch on some of the thoughts that I had on that. So number 8, where are checks being kept? Who has access to those checks? Number 9, who signs checks and who approves payments? Is there dual signing requirements? Are there wire requirements, approvals that go out? What is the process and procedure for those items? Number 10, who mails or submits the final payments? And number 11, what is kept for backup and how is it filed? So one thing I was going to add on the check and ACH question, number 7, was is there any positive pay set up with your bank account, with your banking authority? Are you able to pay vendors through ACH? Are you able to pay anything through credit card suppliers? Have you looked at the terms on those items, and can any of that be negotiated? So there's some other things to think about when you're going through the processes as well. So these are great to have documented, to understand who is taking care of what's the responsibility, what is that the flow of your documents, and who's in charge of what. Also, making sure that you have enough people that are approving and seeing. You have some segregation of duties in there depending on how large your company is and the dollar amounts. So a lot of security items that go into that as well to protect you and your business. So your daily in LA, review these processes. Simple as that. Go through these questions with yourself, with your accounting team, with your project management team. Make sure that you understand the process. I would go ahead and have it documented what the process is and see how you can improve it or make it better for your company. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please, if this was helpful, please share it, like, comment. Let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything that we could help you with this AP process. Thank you.